I might be attracted to a woman much older than me. Every day is a story. I'm Shannon Cason. Make sure you like and subscribe. So I've been doing some local community political action work lately, signature sheets and a lot of volunteers and active citizens in and out of the office. And honestly, it's cool seeing people trying to do good. And there's stereotypes for these type of civically active people. You know, they're always wearing t-shirts. A lot of positive logos on the t-shirts. I'm a hope dealer. Every day can be a good day, say good things about Detroit, like shirts like that. You know, everybody has the matching NPR tote bag too, with the same logos. Shameless plug. Go get your homemade tote bags available at shannoncason.com. You know, I do the tote bags too. And the parking lot is full of Subarus. I can't even judge. I'm driving a Toyota Prius, but it's a lot of Subarus too. And everyone is wearing dirty Adidas from being active in the community. Everybody's active, you know. And there's no hate though. These are my people. I'm a person who can vacillate in multiple cliques, and this is one of my cliques, so everyone is cool. When I come in these settings, I move around and I meet everyone. I float in people's conversations. I like to see who's in the room. I'm a story guy. I like to ask interesting questions. They don't know they hanging around an experienced interviewer and a world-class storyteller. I don't lead with that, you know. I want to know about them. There's a lot of interesting people who wear dirty Adidas. I met this one lady who was working in the back room, far, far back in the office. The room said, "Do not enter," because these were like invalid signature sheets that they didn't want to mix in with the valid signature sheets. So it was a closed door, but I opened the door and let myself in because I'm that type of person. And there was a lady inside working, and I introduced myself and she did too. Let's say her name is Pearl. So I go in and I'm asking my questions like, "Why are you back here in this back room all by yourself, Pearl? What, you on punishment or something?" And she smiled and she like, "I just stay out of the way. And you don't have no music or anything. You got to get you some headphones." And I pointed to my Apple EarPods in my ear. And I told her I listen to podcasts and I just zone out. I can do the work and zone out. And she says, my son keep telling me to get me some of those. I do love music though. So we start talking about music, and she tells me that her son teaches music theory at a school in Chicago. And I tell her I used to live in Chicago. So we talk about Chicago a little bit. And she tells me that she grew up around music. The Spinners, the Four Tops, the Temptations would eat at her family's dinner table many times. And we talked and talked and talked. And we started talking about jazz and jazz clubs and the style of the jazz musicians. And we both shared the love for New York City. And we mentioned to the clubs that we've been to in New York, and she mentioned Birdland that she used to go to with her late husband, and now she's a widow. And I mentioned the Village Vanguard and the Blue Note in New York, like I have visited those. And we mentioned clubs in Detroit, Cliff Bell's downtown, and Baker's Keyboard Lounge, which I grew up close to Baker's Keyboard Lounge, and she says she lives that way right now. And we talked for a while, and then we got back to work. So the next day I did my usual rounds. I'm checking in on all the rooms and asking questions and talking to the Dirty Adidas volunteers and canvassers. And I went to the far back room to check on Pearl. And I walked past the "Do Not Enter" sign, and I met with a big old smile. "Shannon." And I'm like, "How Pearl doing today? What you doing all the way back here? Still no music?" And she says, "It's all in my mind. It's all in my mind." This time, I'm noticing Pearl a little bit more. If you listen to the podcast, you can get key information on the mind of a man. And I'm a man. I'm a man. And I'm noticing Pearl. Pearl is fine. Not used to be fine. Pearl is fine right now. And she's like 65 plus. From the stories, I can tell she's 65 plus. And I can clearly tell Pearl was a heartbreaker in her time, and it's even now probably. So Pearl says, just the man I needed to see. Can you move this box from here to over here? And I go to pick up the box, and I put a little extra flex on my arm muscle so Pearl can see. And she gets up to show me where the box goes, and she's 5'5". I can tell that she works out, and she points her pretty fingernail, put it right over there, baby. And I'm flex my arms, thank you. And she just, touched my arms a little bit. And then we talk about the Pistons losing, and after that, we talk about what we do after work, and I tell her that I'm working on a house. I'm fixing up a house, and she tells me that she goes to Somerset and goes shopping. Then we get back to work. So yesterday, it was the same deal. I checked in on Pearl. I asked her about her weekend, and we talked for a little bit. But I'm a man. I'm a man. In other situations, I'm going to holler at this point. But I don't holler at everyone, but Pearl is beautiful. So the moment of meaning for me, this new generation of seniors will make you rethink the whole idea of doing something nice for Miss Pearl down the street. Chemistry and attraction don't really have an age limit. But what about you? Have you ever been unexpectedly attracted to someone who is significantly older than you? Would you date them, or have you? What's your story?